If you're waiting for the perfect moment to decide, waiting for everything to be perfect, then you've already lost. Most people are not stuck because they don't want more. They just don't understand how to make decisions. Now, one of my favorite books, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, the biggest chapter in the book is on decision making. Now, pay attention to this. He says, accurate analysis of over 25,000 men and women who had experienced failure disclosed the fact that lack of decision was near the head of the list of the 30 major causes of failure. He says this is not a mere statement of a theory, it's a fact. Procrastination, which is the opposite of decision, is a common enemy that practically everybody must conquer. Now, analysis of several hundred people who accumulated fortunes well beyond the $1 million mark disclosed the fact that every single one of them had the habit of reaching decisions fast and changing these decisions slowly if and when they was changed. But people who fail to accumulate money, without exception, have the habit of reaching decisions, if at all, very slowly and of changing these decisions quickly and often. You know, I would rather make 10 fast decisions and 9 of them be terrible decisions than wait my whole life and procrastinate and not make a decision. Now, if you want to be efficient in decision making, then you've got to make decisions for yourself. Now, what I see with a lot of people is I need to speak to my partner. You know, I'll start the business when the time's right. Let me just go and ask my friend what I should do. I'm asking no one what I should do because everyone, especially family and friends, have got an opinion and they're waiting to give it to us. Now, I don't ask anyone for their opinion unless that person has got the results that I want. Now, family and friends, they love to tell us, well, maybe you shouldn't take that risk. Maybe you should stay in that job and don't start that business. What if it doesn't happen? Okay? So if you want to be an efficient decision maker, you've got to make decisions for yourself. You can't be saying, I need to speak to my partner. Because as far as I'm aware, when you got into a relationship with a person, it's called a partnership. It's not called an ownership. And if you're not making decisions for yourself, then what's going to happen is you're going to end up resenting that other person. Because at the end of the day, when you come to the end of your life, you're the one that's going to sit there and be like, what if I made that decision that day? Now, the reason most people are terrible at making decisions is because when we was younger, our parents didn't allow us to make decisions for ourselves. So when we become an adult, we don't have a clue how to make decisions. Now, listen to this. This is incredible. It says the majority of people who fail to accumulate money sufficient for their needs are generally easily influenced by the opinions of others. They permit the newspapers and the gossiping neighbors to do their thinking for them. But opinions are the cheapest commodities on earth, and everyone has a flock of opinions ready to be wished upon anyone who will accept them. If you are easily influenced by opinions when you reach decisions, you will not succeed in any undertaking, much less that in the transmuting your own desire into money. If you are influenced by the opinions of others, you will have no desire of your own. Now, I want you to think about how you're making decisions. Before you make a decision, are you saying, well, I best go home and speak to my partner about that? I best ask my mum what she thinks. You're not going to succeed in any undertaking if you are letting other people or the news or social media make decisions for you. You know, there's a great quote by Emerson, and Emerson says, do the thing and you'll have the power. That's powerful. Do the thing and you'll have the power. Emerson didn't say, go and speak to someone about the thing. Go and speak to your partner about the thing. No. Emerson said, do the thing and you'll have the power. And that's how you make decisions. You know, I used to be terrible at making decisions. Now when I make decisions, if I need advice, I'm going to my mentor because my mentor is in complete harmony with the goals what I have. Now, our family members and our friends, they're sometimes giving opinions from their own belief system. You know, when I first started getting into this material and telling my family and my friends my goals, they all thought I was crazy. Now, Napoleon Hill, in Decision, has put this in it in big, bold letters. It says, let one of your first decisions to keep a closed mouth and open ears and eyes. It says, tell the world what you intend to do, but first show it. You know, when I come to making a decision within my business or within my personal life, I make the decision and then I tell people about it. Now, the reason I do that is because I make the decision, I move into action, and then by the time I tell people, I mean, it's done. There is no stopping me now. I've already made the decision. Okay? So you've got to ask yourself, how are you making decisions? Are you always saying, you know, I'll make a decision when I've got the money. I'll join that mentorship when I've got the money. I'll build that business when I've got more time. I'll book that holiday when my children get a bit older. That's the wrong way to make a decision. You don't make decisions based on whether you can afford it, whether you have the time. The only prerequisite to making a decision is, do you want it? So if I want to go on a holiday, or I want to join a mentorship, or I want to buy myself something, the only question I ask myself is, Joel, do you want it? And if I want it, I make a decision that I'm doing it. And it's the decision, it's the committed decision, this is what I'm doing, that flips your brain onto the same frequency as what you want. Now, once you make a decision, and I'm not talking about, yeah, I'm doing it. I'm talking about, this is done. I am doing this. The universe starts to work in your favor. When you make decisions, you flip your mind onto the frequency of the good that you desire. Now, I see too many people saying, yes, I want to make £10,000 a month. That is what I want to do. They say it, but their actions and behaviors are what are congruent with their paradigm. Too many people are sending out double binding messages to the universe. They're saying they want to start that business. That's what they're saying on a conscious level, but then they don't take the risk and make the decision and go and do it. That's a double binding message. You can't say one thing and do another thing. And that's why the universe is probably looking at this person and saying, well, this person's not serious. I have a goal, I say it, and I also act as if I want it. And then it's like the universe goes, yep, this guy's serious. He's not just talking about it, he's moving into action on it. Okay? Decision making is rather going to make you successful, or it's going to keep you failing. It's as simple as that. You've got to make decisions for yourself. Okay? And I love what my mentor Bob used to say. He said, if I want to be free, then I've got to be me. Not the me that you watching this think I should be. Not the me that my mum thinks I should be, or my children think I should be. If I want to be free, I've got to be me. And I've got to make decisions for myself. Okay? Because the opposite of decision is indecision. And that's a decision within itself. So don't you think it's time to say, do you know what? Enough is enough. The time's never going to be perfect. I'm going to start that business. I'm going to go on that holiday. I'm going to get the help that I need and join that mentorship and make decisions fast, fast, fast. Because I would rather make loads of rubbish decisions than get to the end of my life and never make a decision. I'm telling you, procrastination is the death of men. And if you are procrastinating, waiting for the perfect time, that is your paradigm, your subconscious programming, making excuses in your conscious mind to keep you stuck where you are. Like, don't you think it's time to say, do you know what? Enough is enough, and really go after what you want. If you do, then I would suggest booking a one-to-one call with me. And I will show you exactly how to get from where you are to where you want to be. And I will show you the subconscious blocks that are keeping you stuck. I'm traveling right now, so my availability is quite limited. But I have opened up my calendar and I've got a few slots on there for calls. If you're really serious and you're ready to make a decision, go to the link in the description and book that call with me. And in the meantime, go and get Think and Grow Rich and read the chapter on decision every single day for 30 days. I guarantee if you do that, you will start making decisions for yourself. And remember what Emerson said, do the thing and you'll get the power. Not ask your partner and you'll get the power. Not speak to your friends and you'll get the power. No, you go out and do that thing and you'll get the power. And I'm noticing a lot of my viewers are not subscribed. If you could help me out so I can build my audience and get this material into more people's minds, I would really appreciate if you subscribed, and that'll also keep you updated for when I drop a new video. I'm Joel McLeod. You have an incredible day.